Good morning, children. Today I am going to take the first chapter of your reader book, Who Did Patrick's Homework? This lesson, Who Did Patrick's Homework, is written by Carol Murray. The lesson tells us that how a lazy boy, Patrick, becomes hard worker in doing his homework at the end of the semester. So now I am going to read the chapter and give you the explanation. Patrick never did his homework. Too boring, he said. He played baseball and basketball and Nintendo instead. His teachers said, Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. So, Patrick was a lazy boy who was very interested in playing baseball and Nintendo but not interested to do his homework. So, all his teachers used to warn him to do his homework, otherwise he would learn nothing. So all the teachers used to warn him to do his homework, to be serious in his work. So otherwise he will not learn anything if he doesn't work hard. Then on St. Patrick's Day, his cat was playing with a little doll and he grabbed it away from the cat. To his amazement, it wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. He wore a little woolen shirt with old-fashioned breeches and a high tall hat, much like a witch's. He yelled, "Save me! Don't give me back to that cat. I'll grant you a wish. I promise you that." So one day on St. Patrick's Day is a cultural and religious celebration. It is held on 17th March on the death anniversary of St. Patrick. So on this day, Patrick saw his cat playing with a doll. So he grabbed that doll and to his surprise he found that it was not a doll but an elf. Elf is a little man and that elf was wearing a woolen shirt and old pant and a tall hat. The elf told Patrick that if he saves him from his cat, he would grant him a wish. Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Here was the answer to all his problems. So he said, "Only if you do my homework till the end of the term, that's 35 days, if you do a good enough job, I could even get A+. So when Elf told Patrick that if he saves him from his cat, he would grant him a wish. So Patrick was very happy to hear all this and he had always wanted someone to do his homework. So Patrick told the elf that he would have to write his homework for the whole semester. The wish which he wanted the elf to fulfill is to do his homework for the whole semester. Elf didn't like it, yet he agreed to do so. So that elf was not happy with the wish which Patrick had asked for. The little man's face wrinkled like a dishcloth. He kicked his legs and doubled his fist, and he grimaced and scowled and pursed his lips. So that little man was not happy with the wish which Patrick has asked for, but he had no other choice and he had to do it. And true to his word, that little elf began to do Patrick's homework. Except there was one glitch. The elf didn't always know what to do and he needed help. So the elf had agreed to do his homework. So elf started doing his homework, but he doesn't know anything about Patrick's subjects. So always he had to take help of Patrick. Now, help me, he'd say. Patrick would have to help in whatever way. So he used to ask for help every time and Patrick had to help the elf as he was doing his homework. So he had to help him in his work. "I don't know this word," the elf squeaked while reading Patrick's homework. "Get me a dictionary." So when elf was reading Patrick's homework, if he doesn't know any word meaning, then Patrick has to get a dictionary for him to look for the meaning. "No, what's even better, look up the word and sound it out by each letter." So he used to look up the word and he has to speak the word to elf. When it came to maths, Patrick was out of luck. What are timetables? The elf shrieked. We elves need that addition and subtraction and division and fraction. Here, sit down besides me. You simply must guide me. So now Elf started doing his homework, and we all know that he doesn't know anything about Patrick's subjects. So he always used to take help of Patrick. Patrick has to bring all the books from the library to read to them to Elf. He has to sit beside him to tell about maths, about addition, subtraction, divisions, fractions, everything he has to tell. So Patrick was helping Elf to finish his work. So day and night Patrick worked hard and he was feeling very weary. That is, every whole day and night he has to sit with the elf and he used to help him out to do his homework. So now elves know nothing of human history. To them it's a mystery. So for elves the human history is a mystery for them. So it is Patrick who was helping elf to complete his work. So the little elf, already a shouter, just get louder. Go to the library, I need books, more and more books, and you can help me to read them. So every time he had a problem, Patrick has to go to the library to get the books, and he used to help him out with the words. In fact, every day in every way the little elf was a nag. So the elf was helping him, but it was a big nag, means he was always complaining to Patrick. So Patrick was working harder than ever, and was it a drag? He was staying up nights. He had never felt so weary. So Patrick was working very hard. Patrick was working very hard, and he has to go to the library, run here and there to help elf. So Patrick worked so hard and was not sleeping at night. So he used to go to school with puffed eyes, as he's not sleeping at night and he's helping elf to complete his work. So he has to go to school with puffed eyes. Now the last day of the school came, and now the elf was free to go. As the semester has ended, now elf is free to go. So as for homework, there was no more. He quietly and slyly slipped out of the back door. Patrick got his A+. His classmates were amazed. His teachers smiled and were full of praise. And his parents, they wondered what had happened to Patrick. He was now the model kid. He cleaned his room, did his course, was cheerful and never rude. You see, in the end, Patrick still thought he had made that tiny man to do all his homework. But I'll share a secret just between you and me. It wasn't the elf. Patrick had done it himself. So now throughout the whole semester, Patrick was busy guiding the elf, and at the end of the semester, Patrick got A+ in all the subjects. His classmates were very surprised to see this. His teachers appreciated his talent, and also his parents was surprised to see, and they were so surprised that they could not believe that what happened to Patrick, how he became such a serious person, and how he got A+ in his studies. He changed his behavior then onwards, and he went home, cleaned his room, started living happily and cheerful. At the end, the Patrick thought that elf had done his homework. He had always thought that it was elf who was doing his homework, but the truth is that he himself was doing his homework. That the work was done by Patrick only. But Patrick was always thinking that elf was helping him, but it was the hard work which made Patrick got A+. Now thank you children. I'll get back to you with the exercises later.